Hello folks, welcome to the in-stock lease deals of the month for October. This is basically petrol cars, diesel cars, hybrids, plug-in hybrids, but you won't find a pure EV in this video. If you're after one of those, check out the video I did last week on those. And most of these are 3-year deals, but there are some 2-year deals in here. They're all on 10,000 miles a year with 3 months up front. Obviously, if you want to change your profile, just click that link below and have a little float around, click around and see what suits you in terms of mileage and upfront payment. The link to LeaseLoco is pinned as the top comment and it's at the top of the video description. Please use that, folks. It really does enable me to do what I do. So please use that link. It really helps out. There's also a link to ALA, who I can't think of anyone better to go for if you need some gap insurance. We are kicking things off this week with the C3 Aircross 1.2 PureTech 130 Max E88 automatic. I can hear people already furiously typing, "Or it's got a wet belt." Doesn't matter because it's not your car. We're looking here at a 2-year lease on a car that's got full manufacturer's warranty. In those 2 years on 10,000 miles a year, you're going to do under 20,000 miles a year. I very much doubt the car's going to poo its pants in that time. In fact, I'm sure it'd go on for well over a decade if serviced correctly. £674 up front and £224 a month gets you in one of those. Look at this, 398's been the average on it. This really is a great price. This is, of course, the lowest price we've seen it. Highest price we've seen it, double this, 452 quid a month. Great deal on that at the moment. 9.2 seconds to 62, 41 mpg, 131 horsepower, insurance group 18, 410 litres of boot space. Popular little motor that suits a lot of people down to the ground, as is the Nissan Juke. 1.6 hybrid Techno, 10 seconds to 62, 56 mpg, 143 horsepower, insurance group 14 and 354 litres of boot space. This one, of course, is the hybrid. Let's have a look at the price history on it. We have actually seen it for 4 pence a month less than this, folks, but we've also seen it considerably higher, 429 at its peak, on average 319, currently 276 with 828 up front, and that one is a 3-year deal. Then we've got the Renault 𝘼𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙇𝙄𝙼𝙆. I've got no idea how to say that properly. 1.6 E-Tech full hybrid electric vehicle, 145 Techno is what they're calling that. £285 a month with 856 up front. This one is a 2-year deal. These have literally been out for a couple of months, so pricing is just bang average at the moment. But it looks like a decent little car for 278 quid a month, don't you think? On a 2-year lease, I don't think that's too bad. Next, we've got the Toyota Corolla Touring Sports 1.8 Hybrid Icon CVT Automatic, 299 a month with 899 up front, 3-year deal. We've seen this a bit lately. It's a fantastic car. They're massively reliable, incredibly fuel efficient, and incredibly spacious. 596 litres of boot space, insurance group's only 17, 140 horsepower, 9.4 seconds to 62 and 62.8 mpg, which is achievable in the real world. 356 a month has been the average. At its peak, 405. Its lowest point was about 18 quid less than it is right now, but this is exceptional value. It's a hell of a lot of car, and it's not going to let you down, and it's not going to cost you a great deal to run. Really can't go wrong with the Toyota Corolla. 299 quid a month with 899 up front. Seat Ateca 1.5 TSI Evo FR DSG automatic. So FR in Seat is like S-Line in Audi, R-Line in VW. It's that sort of top, sort of sportier trim level. £303 a month with 911 up front. 9 seconds to 62, 42 mpg, 150 brake horsepower, insurance group 18 and 510 litres of boot space. But look at this, the average on it's been 443, and these Seats generally just stay roughly where they are price-wise. 466 at its peak, which against an average of 443, as I said, they don't tend to fluctuate massively. But its lowest point ever is right now. Look at this. On the 7th of October, this car was £447 a month. It's currently 303. If you want a mid-size SUV, there are very few that are as capable as this for 300 quid a month. That's a fantastic deal, folks. Please use that link to LeaseLoco if you're interested in it, or if you want to have a click around, maybe change the profile a bit up to suit you a bit better. Maybe you don't want to put anything up front on it. It's then £325 a month with nothing up front. So I think that's a really, really good car for that money. Hyundai Tucson 1.6 Ultimate. So Ultimate is the ultimate in Hyundai. It's the top of the tree in terms of their trim levels. 336 a month with a grand up front. 9.9 to 62, 40 mpg, 160 horsepower, 620 litres of boot space, and insurance group 17. 401 a month on average. At its peak, 482. It did go to 262 for a second. Obviously not for very long. But on average 401, currently 336 with a grand up front, gets you in a new Tucson. This is a great little car. The Mazda CX-5 2-litre eSkyActiv G mild hybrid, new ground, automatic, petrol, £337 a month with just over a grand up front, 9.9 seconds to 62, 41 mpg, 165 horsepower, insurance group 18, and 522 litres of boot space. On average, one of those has been 383 quid, 429 at its peak. Its lowest point was £1.50 less than it is now. It's 337 quid a month with just over a grand up front. Often overlooked, the CX-5, but they drive really, really well for an SUV, and I don't think they get their flowers, so to speak. Skoda Superb 2-litre diesel SE technology DSG automatic, 340 quid a month with just over a grand up front, 9.2 to 62, 57 mpg, 150 horsepower, insurance group 24, and 645 litres of boot space. 401 a month on average, 550 at its peak, 315 at its lowest point, so 25 quid a month less than it is now. As you can see, it's just crept up in the last couple of weeks. So maybe that will continue to creep, who knows? But at the moment, it looks decent value. If you want the estate, this is the best deal I've found. It's the 1.5 TSI. So that's the petrol engine. I really like that little 1.5 petrol engine. 343 a month with just over a grand up front. Similar figures across the board, really. But you've got 690 litres of boot space. BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe 218i M Sport DCT automatic, 356 a month with just over a grand up front, 9.1 seconds to 62, 48 mpg, 136 horsepower, insurance group 18, and 430 litres of boot space. I think it's a beautiful car, the 2 Series. I really like that. And even though this one hasn't got the spiciest of engines, they're just a nice, fun little car to drive. I've got a lot of time for the 2 Series, I really have. 425 a month on average. At its peak, 519, and at its lowest point, it was 14 quid a month, 15 quid a month less than it is right now. That was just a few weeks ago. But you can see that sort of downward trajectory, and this looks like good value at the moment. 356 a month with 1100 up front. Nissan X-Trail e-Power e-Force 213X Centre Premium Automatic. I reviewed one of these a while ago. I thought it was exceptionally good and an absolute quantum leap for Nissan in terms of where this car is versus the previous generation X-Trail, and it really feels like a massive upgrade from the outgoing model. There's the interior. That's all actually really quite nicely done, and it's really quite a capable car. 0 to 62 in 7 seconds, 45 mpg, 213 brake horsepower, insurance group 28, and 575 litres of boot space. Its lowest point was 349, so on average 429, currently 373, 1119 up front. Folks, if you're enjoying this video, a little thumbs up goes a long way, as does a subscription if you're not already subscribed. Thanks very much. The first ever good looking Toyota Prius is next. It's this one. It's the 2-litre plug-in hybrid design CVT automatic. Being the plug-in hybrid, one area where it does lack a bit is the boot space, because I think the standard Prius is about 500 litres of boot space. This one's like 280 or something like that. 6.8 seconds to 62, 564 mpg. Insurance Group 31, 223 brake horsepower, 445 a month on average. At its peak, 713. That was when it was literally first released. Look, and they immediately cut the price on it. It's pretty much been around about 440 most of the time it's been on sale, and it just dropped at the end of September there to sort of 416, 417, 418 kind of area. I haven't driven one yet. I will be driving one this week, but if you are interested in that new Prius, and hats off to Toyota, by the way, for coming up with a good looking Prius at long last. I think that really is a good looking car. I like it a lot. So hats off to them for that. Let's hope it drives as good as it looks. VW Tiguan 1.5 TSI e-hybrid match DSG, one of the most popular cars on the planet, I believe. 8.2 seconds to 62, 706 mpg. Oh, these plug-in hybrid fuel consumption figures do get on my nerves. 652 litres of boot space, Insurance Group 27. Now, the lowest price we've seen on this car is right now, 440 a month with 1,321 up front. At its peak, it was 676, and on average, it's been 483. So 440 looks like very, very decent money for one of these. If you want the diesel version of it, you can save yourself 50 quid a month. You've got the match, 150 match there. But the plug-in hybrid seems to be the one that's a little bit of a bargain at the moment. The petrol one, by the way, 408. That's for the R-Line DSG automatic. Lexus NX 450H Plus 2.5 Premium eCVT plug-in hybrid. 6.3 seconds to 62, 309 brake horsepower, Insurance Group 40, and 520 litres of boot space. 481 a month on average. At its lowest point, 437, so it's about 7 quid less than it is now. At its highest point, however, 559. Average on it 481, currently 444 with 1,334 up front. Now we've got a big 4x4 7-seat Skoda Kodiaq for you, 2-litre diesel, 193 Sportline, DSG automatic, 340 litres of boot space with the back seats up, 44 mpg, 193 brake horsepower, 588 a month on average, currently 514. Audi Q5 50 TFSI E-Quattro S-Line S-Tronic Tech Pack. We've seen this around for a little while now. This is the plug-in hybrid, 6.1 seconds to 62, 299 brake horsepower, 460 litres of boot space. At Insurance Group 43, 1,740 up front and 580 a month, against an average of 630 quid a month. And then look at this bad boy, the Lotus Emira is back. First edition, dual clutch transmission, automatic that is, 776 a month with 2,330 up front. Now bear in mind that this is on 10,000 miles a year, and I'm guessing the Emira is a car you're not that likely to do 10,000 miles in. But who knows. As a reminder, if you want to change the terms of your lease, you come up here and you can change the length of the lease and the upfront payment, and then come to this one and you can change the mileage on it. But we'll stick with the 10,000 miles a year, 776 a month, 2,300 up front, 4.3 seconds to 62, 30 mpg, 360 brake horsepower. Obviously, this thing is a little rocket ship. 1,184 a month on average. The lowest price we've ever seen it is right now. The highest price we've seen it at, £1,538. So this car at 776 a month, it's half price at the moment, essentially. That is a stunning deal. Obviously, we saw it recently for about 900 quid a month and thought that was good. 776 for one of these does look very, very good. And for all the people saying, oh, it's a lot of money to spend on a car that you don't own, it's an incredible amount of money to spend on a car you don't own. But owning that car might actually cost you more than this lease, and that's kind of the point of leasing, is it not? VW Touareg 3-litre V6 TSI e-hybrid 4Motion R Tiptronic Auto, 800 quid a month, all bar the shouting, with almost 2,400 up front, 5.2 seconds to 62, 462 horsepower, Insurance Group 49, 665 litres of boot space. Average on it's been £1,000 a month. At its peak, 1,154, and currently about 12 quid higher than its absolute lowest point in the last 12 months. It's a monster, but a lot of people like a monster, don't they? That's it for this one, folks. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and please use that link to LeaseLoco and support our sponsors, ALA Insurance. Thanks ever so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.